forecast starts now with meteorologist Dan Tomaso.
So we've been talking all day about rescue teams being ready across the state in case of flooding happens.
Sure.
And that rain is coming down. And the flooding, how big of a concern is that?
Well, truly the biggest problem is north of us where there's a lot of snow melt happening. That's where they got more snow than we did. So over in the northern part of the Susquehanna River, certainly there's going to be a lot of water moving on those streams, creeks, and then ultimately the river too. James, I do think there will be minor issues here in the mid-state, but again, it was so dry leading into this active period of weather. That's been the saving grace. But when you do add snow melt together with this approaching heavy rainfall, there will likely be low-lying areas, creeks and streams, and some of our rivers too to monitor, including the Sweater Creek. I mean, no matter what happens, it seems like that is one area that is very prone to flooding here in the mid-state. But we'll talk more about that as those situations develop. In the meantime, this is radar. It is very, very busy. It is filled with rain at the moment. We continue to see that heavy rain moving to the north, and it is still cold enough over northern Pennsylvania to see snow, but that wedge is closing fast in terms of where the cold air is still hanging out. Here in Mifflintown, I think we've switched over now to either very large wet snowflakes or some heavier rain. It snowed the longest there across the mid-state. The elevations do make a difference, but meantime, at lower elevations in Hanover, it is simply just wet, and in fact, you see no leftover snow there at all. Temperatures above freezing. That doesn't mean there can't be some patchy ice left over from the night, but again, this is good news. If this were all snow, we'd be talking about a major winter storm, but instead it is pulling a lot of warm air up from the south, and at the same time, this is a deepening area of low pressure. What does that mean? When you see all these barometric pressure lines close together, that means a lot of wind is developing. So as a low strengthens, the winds around the center of the low also strengthen. So unfortunately, this will be our first real taste of some stronger winter winds today and tomorrow. But first, let's talk about the rain. Precision Cast just is an all-out soaker here through the afternoon and evening. Those yellows, oranges, reds showing up, that is all heavy rain here in the model run. Plus, as things warm up tonight, there's the possibility of some isolated areas of thunder and lightning before the storm exits. Once it does exit, the winds continue. So winds during the rain, winds after the rain, and even into our Wednesday forecast, gusts could easily exceed 40 to 50 miles per hour. So again, to kind of wrap this up into what to expect, we're already into the rain phase. Yes, the snow held on a little bit longer than what we said for parts of Mifflin and Juniata counties, but now we're in this phase. Soaking rain, worst of the storm, gusts to 50 miles per hour, rain totals about 1 to 2 inches, but again, that's on top of snow melt. So we are watching the streams, the creeks, then comes the winds. So again, this afternoon, evening featuring wind gusts likely over 40, even 50 miles per hour. There's a brief break overnight, but they pick back up tomorrow, James. So again, this is wintertime. We do expect winter to be windy, but this is our first extended dose of seeing that. Temperatures through the weekend stay somewhat elevated near 50 degrees, but we do drop Sunday into MLK Day, likely low 30s for highs then.
That cold weather's coming.
Cold weather is coming, James. It's pretty much locked in now that we will see next week being much colder than the way we've started this entire month.
All right, Dan. Thank you very
Sure.
much. We'll be right back.